on display. They were curiosities because they raised questions rather than providing answers, and humans aren't very good at letting go of a mystery, are they? At this point, you might be thinking that these old wonder rooms and cabinets of curiosities sort of sound like museums. And you would be correct. In fact, a lot of European museums began as a gathering point of many personal collections. Over the years, these private cabinets were bought up, bequeathed, and donated until they became the large public collections that we call museums. In fact, the Enlightenment Room is the oldest in the British Museum. It originally held the King's Library, a collection of 65,000 books and documents gathered by King George III. And then, in 2003, the space reopened as the Cabinet of Curiosities it is today. A good chunk of the items you can see in there, as well as other objects across the museum, came from the personal collection of Sir Hans Sloane, who spent the better part of 7 decades gathering a staggering collection of over 71,000 pieces. In a very real way, the curiosity of one person led to the collection and preservation of an incredible amount of history. One last thing. If you had the chance to slowly walk the length of this gallery, you would notice how all of the objects are grouped into themed collections. Geological samples are in one spot, relics from specific scientific expeditions can be found elsewhere, and there are even collections of fossils and bones. The reason for this organization is pretty obvious. It helps visitors get a full experience. They can explore one particular category and really soak it in. Plus, seeing related items together on the shelf adds an extra layer of context to their individual stories. All of a sudden, they are more than just unique items. They become part of a bigger world. Which is why this book exists. My team and I have spent the past 5 years gathering the most amazing, entertaining, and enlightening stories from history and placing them into a modern digital cabinet of curiosities. Yes, every story is a little object sitting on a shelf by itself, and that's all well and good, but it's time for a bit of organization. Like the Enlightenment Room, my goal here is to present these tales in the context of specific categories. This topical arrangement allows fans of curious history to more easily find what they're looking for, and to see just how interconnected the individual stories of the past really are. So please, enjoy your tour through a new kind of Cabinet of Curiosities. Walk the width and length of our gallery and take in the wonders that are on display. I've worked hard to curate this ever-evolving exhibit of the most fascinating tales from history, and I'm certain that you'll enjoy visiting these incredible places, unusual characters, and amazing events. That is, of course, if you're more than a little curious. Aaron Mahnke, November 2023. Part 1. Curious Americana. Second Life. It's one of the many tales of the founding of America. Settlers from England were exploring more and more of the New World, and as they did, they set up new communities far from the comfort of home. We know these stories as well as the backs of our hands, if not in detail, then at least in theme. Most of the original states have a story that echoes these themes, but there's one tale in particular that I want to tell you. Some think it begins as far back as the late 1670s, when English settlers began to cross over the Appalachian Mountains. First, there were dozens, then hundreds, and then thousands. They made their homes in an area that was part of the far western edge of the colonies of North Carolina and Virginia, settling along the Watauga River Valley. They farmed and hunted for years, making a new life for themselves. But in 1763, England declared it to be illegal to cross the mountains into the west, so they had a choice: return to North Carolina's legal territory or become united and support themselves. They had fought to be there, after all, defending themselves against the Cherokee tribe of Native Americans. They didn't want to give up on all of that. In 1772, they drafted a document that foreshadowed the coming Declaration of Independence. With it, they formed the Watauga Association.